Now, I know you're all wondering about number 3, 10-minute content. Is it really possible, or is it a gimmick? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is possible, and here's how. You can dictate your content into your smartphone. I do this frequently. I don't do it every time, but I have set up for myself a treadmill desk, and I do it so that I can get my exercise in, so I'm not sitting in front of a computer all the time. And I also do it sometimes in carpool line. You know, I'm sitting in carpool waiting to pick up my kids. You know, I'm not talking on the phone, but I am talking into my phone. And I'm going to show you how you too can do this. You can dictate into your smartphone using an app. Now, there are several apps that you can use for this. I use EVERNOTE, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's a wildly popular note-taking app. But you can also use dictation apps like Dragon Dictation. There are lots of apps that you can use, and here's how you do it. In EVERNOTE, when I'm creating a new note, it has the cursor right here, and it's ready for me to type on my smartphone. Now, I've got my smartphone here, and I'm doing it this way. Instead of typing it, I click on this microphone button here, and I talk into my smartphone. And EVERNOTE will take 30 seconds of dictation and transcribe it into text. Now, if you're doing this in a relatively quiet room, it does an excellent job. I'm actually amazed at how well it does. If you're in a loud room, not so much. But you can dictate 30 seconds of content at a time, and then when you're at the end of that 30 seconds, it will paste that content in. You just click on that microphone again, and you dictate your next 30 seconds of content. And by doing that, you have saved yourself a ton of time typing in a blog post or a white paper or a PowerPoint presentation, and then you can copy and paste this into WordPress or Word or whatever it is that you are using to create your content. You can even email this to yourself. So that's one way of creating 10-minute content, is by dictating it into your smartphone. And let me also tell you, if you are a small business owner, or if you are someone in a small business who is tasked with doing social media and it's really hard to get your CEO's time, this is a way that you can do this. Go to lunch, you know, when you're in the car on the way to a meeting, you know, something like that. Interview the CEO, you know, get him or her to talk, you know, do an interview, do it by phone. There are actually phone apps that you can use that I've used to do interviews. And then you can have that transcribed. You know, doing something orally is actually a really quick way to generate content for people who are just super busy. The second way that you can create 10-minute content is to use templates. Now, I can tell you that we did this a lot when I was at ExecuTrain, when I was managing a team of about 7 technical writers. We didn't create anything from scratch. We did everything from a template, and it saved so much time, and I still do it now. It helps not only maintain quality and consistency if you have multiple people generating your content, it also saves a lot of time. You can have a template for any type of content that you create. My blog posts, many of them I create starting with a template, especially the ones that are announcing my bonus webinars. That's the same blog post every time. I just change out the content and the image for the webinar. All of my infographics and checklists, I start with a template. I will take a template and then fill in the new content and change the colors. Same thing with multimedia. This presentation came from a template. I didn't even create the template. I purchased it. And somebody else did the design and I filled it in. You can do the same thing with videos. You can get a video intro for your business. You can get music for your podcasts and use those over and over again. That helps with your branding, and it also cuts down on the amount of time that it takes for you to create that content. Thirdly and finally, the last thing that you can do to generate 10-minute content is to repurpose your best content. And I'm going to give you some examples of this. Whenever I do a bonus webinar like this one, you get this content in several forms. It probably started out as an article, but you'll get the video replay, you get an audio file, and the audio file doesn't take me any time to do. When I'm editing the video, all I do is save this as an audio file, and it takes 1 minute to do. That does not take a long time. And then I also repurpose the content in an infographic or a checklist. And so you can take your content in the way that's easiest for you to create it, and then outsource it or delegate it to a staff member to have them repurpose it into whatever content is best for your audience. If you're a business-to-business brand, then you would look at doing a white paper or a PowerPoint presentation. If you're a business-to-consumer brand, you would look at doing images, possibly some infographics or a video.